Doodlebud here. Today we're checking out this Montblanc 146. Now normally you would say, what's the big deal? We've all seen a Montblanc 146. There's a billion reviews out there. Why should I watch this one? Well, this is probably what I would say the nicest 146 I've seen. Like if you're going to get one, this would be the pen to check out. The reason being, first up, it's rose gold. We're going to compare this rose gold versus I have another 146 over here with a bit of a backstory. We'll come to that in a second. It's standard gold, so we'll compare the two. And then it's got the oblique double broad nib, and you can tell this is not the writing of a regular nib. It's got an oblique double broad. So that's why this, I think, is probably the nicest 146 I've seen. Let's go through it and show you what it's all about. First up, big thank you to the Vancouver Pen Club member who loaned me this pen for review purposes and to play around with. I've been absolutely loving it so much. I ran the pen dry. They had a blend of their own ink in there that went quite well with this rose gold nib. I wrote all of that ink out of there, so I can't show that ink. But I did replenish it, and I'm going to gift them this bottle as well. Just, yeah, very kind of them to loan me a few pens to do some reviews, and I've been enjoying it. So I don't know how to say this properly. Is it Van Diemen's or Van Diemen's? I don't know. And it's like Heemscherk and Zihern. I don't know. Anyways, lovely brown, and it has a green type of sheen to it. You can see it here in the feed. It's kind of a nice ink, and I feel it goes really well with this rose gold nib. So let's just get into that. Years ago, I was looking at a Montblanc 149, and then when I discovered they have them in rose gold, I looked at that and went, that is the one to get. But the price on that sucker was way sky high, so that never happened. But this, seeing the rose gold, makes me reconsider that happening potentially one day. Or even in this 146. It's a nice size, very, very similar to a Pilot Custom 823. And the cool thing is you can pick up the Montblancs on the secondhand market at in and around what the price of a new 823 would be. So just keep that in mind if you really do want to try one. Buying new, it's always nuts, but secondhand's a great way to spot this. Pick one up. I think this was bought secondhand as well. So it's got your classic design. It's actually tough to see the ink window. There is the lovely slotted ink window. Oh, you can just start to see it there. But this is a dark ink and it's a full fill. But there you go. We got the ink one. Now we're seeing it. So that's super handy to have on a piston filler pen. And it's too bad Pelikan, except for on the all black, they got rid of it. But that's a nice feature. If it's a piston fill pen, I do appreciate an ink window. And I think Montblanc has one of the kind of a very classy ink window that goes with it. This camera doesn't want to focus, but we'll continue on. I said I had another 146, and I do. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you might actually recognize this pen because I did like a quasi restoration. I didn't go crazy, but I just fixed it up, shined it up a little bit, got the nib going, cleaned it all out, all that sort of stuff. The same person that I touched it up for, they returned it back to me, said there was a bit of a problem. So that's got a cracked section on it. Dun, dun, dun. So I think I can fix that. It would be a fun video to do. There you go. And they said, no, just keep it. They don't want to do any more damage to the pen or find a home for it or something like that. So we'll see what we do with that. But it's perfect, like unfortunate for them in the pen, but perfect timing for this video because now we have two 146 to go side by side. I find the biggest difference on the rose gold color comes at the nib, but here we can see on the trim. Let me adjust this lighting. I don't know what it is, but I have a Pixel Pro 7 that I'm using here for these videos, and whatever Google did with their white balance on this phone is just dumb. It's not intuitive, but there we go. I think that's a little bit better. You can see the difference. Essentially how they get the rose gold color is the addition of copper into the alloy. So again, it all depends on the percentage and what grade of nib you have, whether it's 14K or 18K. I think 18K is just 24 karat gold and then 25% copper. This is a 14 karat, but you can see. And especially in a two-tone, that's where the rose gold just looks amazing. So you see what I'm saying. I mean, this one's at a bit of a disadvantage. It's a monotone nib, but you can just see the difference in color. That is absolutely stunning. That's a lovely thing to look at when you're writing. So Rose gold two-tone nibs, whether it's on a Montblanc or any other pen, I think is one of the most beautiful things out there. I do have my 149 two-tone gold nib, but the 149 in rose gold would definitely be a sexier looking nib. Let's just have an impromptu nib showdown. You tell me which one looks better, the Montblanc or the classic Pelikan M800 nib. That's a tough call. I don't know. Down in the comments, let us know. Let's go to the next round. Okay, this is going to be a tough one here. We have Visconti. This is their Palladium nib, two-tone against the rose gold. I mean, those are really nice looking nibs. Visconti might win it on that one. If Visconti did a Bronze Age with rose gold, that would be two-tone. Oh my gosh. You got to have rose gold on the right pen. On the Montblanc, it's the right pen. I don't think it would suit, say, a Pilot 823. I don't think rose gold would look as good on this type of pen, or this old vintage, I get not super vintage, but 90s era Aurora 88 in gold. Like, rose gold would probably look good, but just classic gold is the right color to use on this particular pen. I figured the purpose of this video would be for someone who's looking at getting a Montblanc 146 and they're trying to decide on should they get the regular gold or go for the rose gold, because it is more expensive and you want to know, is it worth it? What am I paying for? What does it look like? You're probably comparing a regular 146 and the rose gold, and you're not going to get the exact shots and angles you're looking for. So that's what I want to do here. I will do some glam shots side by side with all the different spots, because we have a reference, which is super handy. You probably want to know how it writes. Again, I can't show you other nibs, but if you're scoping out an oblique double broad, I took the liberty of just not doing this on camera because I can't write like this on camera. It's very hard to do that. It's so much easier off camera, but I don't know what your writing looks like. But yes, rose gold is better, and this is a super lovely nib. I compared it to, I did a separate video on oblique broad, on oblique nibs. So if you want to see some extra footage, I will do a quick writing sample. But if you want to see more footage of this pen, I'll leave a link down below. But here it is against my Pelikan. So this is a vintage Pelikan 19, I think, was it 51 to 53, early 50s. This has an oblique double broad. I give close-ups to show the difference in the grinds, and the nibs do write differently. So you're getting a lot more line variation. So if you're familiar with older kind of vintage oblique style nibs, the modern ones are ground a little different. They have way more tipping on there. They round it a lot more. Check the other video again for profiles, just so you know what you get. The difference is you'll lose a little bit on the line variation. So the cross strokes and these types of strokes, the hairlines are thicker on the modern one, just the way they grind it. But the trade-off you get is it's super smooth. It is just like a soft cushion suspension on a big Cadillac or something like that. It's just a soft, bouncy ride. So the experience on here actually does feel smoother than the older ones, but you are getting more line variation. If you hold it so you're getting more line variation going down in a stub type fashion, you can see a comparison there. And if you rotate your pen more, it looks more like an architect. So there's the writing sample for that. I'll do a couple strokes here, do a little bit of writing so you get to see it in action, and then I'll wrap it up with just comparing the two pens, so you get close-ups of that. So just an absolute joy to write with this pen. Like I said, great for signatures. If you like to have a pen designated just to signatures and you have a specific ink you use, because you are paranoid that if anyone ever tries to forge your signature, good luck with that. You only ever sign with this pen, with this nib, with this ink. good luck trying to forge that or something like that. So anyways, or use it just for whatever you want. But I always thought about some folks probably have a pen just for that specific reason. This would be a candidate for that. Let me see if I can show you a little bit more of that green sheen. It really doesn't show up at all on Rhodia paper. Sorry, this is Clairefontaine. Same ink, and this is on Regalia. It looks really nice, but I'm getting great shading, but no sheen. I tried it on this Lockbee journal that has a Tomoe River paper, and this stuff shows the sheen a little bit. Let me get you closer so you can see it. It just has a very light hint of sheen. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not. Looks like it might, just a little bit. A very slight hint of a green, and I'm getting a shadow on it. But anyways, it is a nice ink, nice shade of brown. If it had more of that green sheen, I think it would look super cool, but I enjoy it just how it is. So I think the best way for me to end things off now is I'll stop talking here in just a second, and I'll just do some close-ups of a regular 146 and the nibs. I'll throw in the 149 two-tone nib for reference, and that way you can decide. This will help you with that. If you're in the market for one of these pens and you're debating about getting the rose gold or the regular gold, hopefully this can help you with that. So thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, likes, all that stuff. We'll catch you in the next one. Now let's get to the glam shots.